students, welcome to today's session. This is Sweta, your English Master Teacher at Vedantu, and we will start with the third session on weathering the storm in Ersama, which is from your English Class 9 NCERT textbook Moments. And in the third session, that is in today's session, we are going to discuss the theme and the most important question answers from this very chapter. So let's proceed with the session without further ado. A quick reminder for those who still haven't subscribed to Vedantu Pro Subscription. So this is the time, guys. Quickly, do subscribe to Vedantu Pro Subscription. Step 1, select grade. Step 2, select target. Step 3, get subscription. And step 4, choose your plan. And do not forget to apply the coupon code SWRPRO. Applying this coupon code will enable you to get a discount price of 2699. If you do not apply the coupon code, you are going to have you have to pay 4000. So definitely this is a big discount that we are providing us. So apply the coupon code and avail the discount and avail the amazing features. Let me talk about the amazing features that is designed just for you. First is live classes by India's best master teachers, personalized attention in class, full recordings of all the classes along with notes, assignment, tests and more. And regarding the curriculum, that is also designed keeping in center, of course, my lovely students. So yes, it is in sync with your school curriculum. We have structured long-term batch. We have chapter-wise micro course, and these micro courses are going to cover one chapter at a time. So at least 2 live classes for every chapter each month. Apart from that, we also have the provision for revision. That is, complete crash course is there for you, which will enable you to revise the entire syllabus just before your exam. So we are all making you exam ready, and we have also the test series, assignments, study material, and of course regular performance report. And you can also have the freedom to select your own study plan and curriculum. So hurry up and quickly avail the amazing opportunity to join us in the Vedantu family by applying the coupon code SWRPL. So that is the coupon code PRO. SWRPRO. Do not forget the code Sweta Roy Pro. So now we will talk about the most important question answers and of course the most important points and issues in this very chapter. That is weathering the storm in Ersama. So let's begin the session with a quote. So let's start. First of all, you already know that we have completed the first 2 sessions. That is, full story is complete. Now in this session, we are going to discuss the important question answers. And of course, we have the mentee still to go, right? So let's start with today's session with a wonderful quote. We can't help everyone. We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. That is by Dr. Loretta Scott. And this quote is significant not only in the context of the text that we are going to deal with and that we have dealt with already, but it also in the context of our lives. Especially in today's life when we are in a pandemic situation, we are in a crisis. So definitely we need these quotes, we need this help. If we can help someone, definitely we all can help someone. So why not extend our helping hand as and when possible? With this positive thought in mind, let us begin the session. First of all, theme of the story. So obviously you know what is the theme of the story. It is about the young boy called Prashant. He was 19-year-old boy, and he takes the initiative and he helps the members of his community to stand on their feet. So his leadership quality, his courage, his determination to actually help these people, not only his own family but also the entire community, to survive, right? So that was all about the theme. Definitely, what does he do? He mobilizes all the people and he mobilizes all the people, and he solves the problem, and we will see what are the steps that he takes to solve the problems. We have already seen that in the story, and we will see further in the next questions that we will already deal with, right? So this is the basic theme. If we talk about the theme, that is about his courage, about his leadership qualities, about his determination, and about his helpful nature. Next is the significance of the title. As you know, what is the title? It is Weathering the Storm in Ersama. So definitely the story revolves around the the storm, the superstorm that had happened in Ersama in Orissa in 1999, and the calamity which was faced by the people of that area. And it is also a story about a boy named Prashant, who actually sees nearly 2,500 people in pitiful condition. He also mobilized them. He mobilized the people to help themselves and also provide themselves. So how is he doing that, and what are the activities he is doing to save the people, that we will just now see. You know that he arranged for accommodation, he arranged for food, and he was also working very strongly with sheer determination and courage after the storm, after the storm was over and the people were not even having food to eat. So what are the steps that he took, right, that we will see right now. So definitely this is dealing with, the story is dealing with all these things. So the title is justified. And now we will see the character sketch of the most important and the central character, that is Prashant. So it's about a tragic happening, and this is about a 19-year-old boy, Prashant, in the Kalikuda village in Odisha, right? He's a brave and strong and courageous character who displays tremendous what to say, leadership quality as well as courage, tremendous courage, hope, determination, leadership quality in the face of adversity when he is marooned on the rooftop during a dreadful storm. Prashant not only saves his family members, but also he walks 18 kilometers back to his village in order to search for his family members. And not only he does save his family members, but also uh, you know takes care of the entire region, the people of the entire region, right? And what does he do? He also takes with him a strong stick so that he is successful in wading his way through the flooded path. His leadership qualities come to the fore when he organizes the group initiatives to help people to solve the problems in the Red Cross shelter. So that we have already seen in the second part, right? He also organizes a separate shelter for children and tirelessly works with them, with the authorities, so that they could reunite them with their parents. So that was all about Prashant, and we will also see other important features in the next questions, which definitely we can add up in that answer, right? So initially, you definitely have to talk about how he went to the friend's house and what happened over there. The storm started, and he was marooned in the rooftop, and then how he waded his way, walking 18 kilometers for his family, and he took that stick and he waded through the carcass of the animals and also the dead bodies of the human beings. So that was the difficulty that he faced. However, he did not lose hope, but he was just a young boy of 19 years old. So that should be kept in mind whenever you deal with the answer with the character sketch of the boy. And then we have the destruction. What was the destruction like that was caused by the super cyclone, right? So you know that the wind started when the storm started. The wind roared and started beating against the houses. Constant rain was there. There was water everywhere, right? Houses people, they were washed away, and his friend's home where he was actually he was there. Prashant had gone to his friend's home, and it was made of brick and cement and was strong enough to survive the wind blowing at 350 kilometers. However, a tree was uprooted, a coconut tree, and that served as a miracle for them because it was on coconuts that they had survived for the following few days, right? And then to escape the water rising in the house, Prashant and his family took refuge on the roof, if you remember, for 2 days, right? And how the tears were wiped, like were washed away by the rain. That also you need to describe. And then they also froze in cold and rain in the early morning when the rainfall ceased and the water started to recede little by little gradually. He saw that there was sheet of water spread everywhere. So as the saying goes, water water everywhere, not a drop to drink. So that was the condition over there, right? So huge trees also had fallen, and bloated dead bodies of animals and human beings were floating everywhere. So that was the condition. So that was the kind of destruction that uh, the storm had brought. Next, we have, how did Prashant reach his village? So, as you know, that when the storm, ceased, the cyclone ceased, 2 days later, the rain ceased, the rainwater started to recede gradually. Prashant took a long stick and he started walking 18 kilometers. That journey was not an easy journey. It was a very difficult journey, right? And he used his stick to locate the road at places he was waiting, right? Deep, and the progress was slow. Sometimes he also lost the route. So that these were the difficulties that he encountered while he was walking 18 kilometers. Try to imagine 18 kilometers. So still they decided to move ahead, and finally he had to wade through the carcass of the animals and the human beings as well. There were carcass of goats, cattle, as you know. And then he also feared that his family, he wanted to know whether his family survived or not. And at last, when he reached his house, he could not initially see his family. And in order to look for his family, he first went to the Red Cross shelter. Fortunately, he met his family, and they all were glad to see Prashant. And finally, he came to know that 86 lives were lost and 96 houses had been washed away. Next is, you have to describe how Prashant helped himself and others at the time of the natural calamity. Remember, this answer is to be also incorporated in the character sketch of Prashant, because this we have not included in details purposely, because this is already I'm going to discuss right now. So no point of discussing twice. So please incorporate this portion in that answer as well. So as you know that the cyclone had caused great damage in the village and the surrounding areas, and Prashant, how did he help his family? He not only helped his family but also the others at this time of adversity. They pressurized altogether. They pressurized the local member. They were all starving, right? Aftermath of this natural calamity was also very severe, and they were all starving. And what happened, they initially pressurized the local merchant to give rice to the starving villagers. And finally rice they burnt a fire and they cooked rice, and finally they could, although it was rotten, but still they could have something, right? So the next step was to clean the place, which was filled with filth, dirt, and dead bodies, floating dead bodies. So they also tended the wounds of and fractures of those people who were injured. And on the fifth day, there was a military helicopter which was dropping food, but it did not return. So now again, Prashant planned something. What was the plan? To attract the attention of the helicopters. How? So they deputed children to lie there with empty utensils on their stomach, and this was done to communicate to the helicopter that they were hungry. and this scheme worked well and they started dropping food regularly. Next, we have the widows and orphans of village Kalikuda remembered Prashant's help after the cyclone with gratitude. This also should be included in the character sketch, right? So all the points that we are covering, all the questions that we are covering, wherever Prashant's character, you can see, because Prashant is the central character, so his character sketch is highlighted throughout. So definitely you can take points from here as well. So as you know that the way he took the initiative and organized these groups, and finally they got relief, right? So these relief packages were sent through helicopters, and all the plan was executed by Prashant, right? So therefore, finally, with the help of Prashant, they could the situation got better, and finally there was, they got help, they received help. So that was it. And then we have, during natural calamities, women, children need more protection. Explain Prashant's role in organizing relief measure for women and children. So this also should be incorporated. So you can see, you can yourself see what are the points that we can incorporate, right? So there were dead bodies, uprooted trees. So there was huge destruction. Brown sheet of water was covering everywhere. The rain ceased after 2 days, but water could not be seen. And because of the rain, there was very little hope for the bereavement of the flood victims. So what did he do? He organized the youth and elders, and that compelled the merchant to, give them rice. And they collected food. Then he arranged a team of the youth to clean the surrounding areas. They looked after the wounded people. He persuaded women to look after the orphans. To bring people out of the grief, he organized game also for the children, so that their mind is diverted and they are not, grief stricken, right? And for the same reason, he also convinced the women to take part in the Food for Work program. So you can also see his leadership qualities emerge in these fields, right? When he was working in these areas. Next, we have, do you think adversity or crisis bring people closer? Definitely. So the recent case that we are also suffering from also can be associated with this. We can very well relate this with our life situation. So let's explain with the reference to the lesson. As you all know that in adversity or crisis, we should stand united, right? So whenever there is any natural calamity or whatever it is, even a pandemic like this, so if we work together, we will definitely one day come out of it, right? So similarly in this story also, they worked together for during their resettlement. They took care of the orphan and widows, so there was always group work and teamwork, and Prashant managed to unite them and work for one another. Prashant also brought the survivors together, formed the youth task force, and the youth also took charge and volunteered themselves for cleaning the shelters. Right? So, this is how this proves that whenever there is a calamity or a crisis, we can always help each other, work for each other. The more we are united, the faster we can actually recover from these effects, these dreadful effects of anything, of be it a natural calamity or a pandemic like this, right? So this is the lesson, this is the message that we actually take from this story, from the story of Prashant, right? And how did he manage to help the victims of the storm that had struck in Odisha and Erasmus, right? So we can also take many positive messages and many qualities from Prashant and try and extend our helping hand to those who need, as I already mentioned in the quote that with which I began the session. So I hope you have now understood the lesson very well, and also the important question answers. Now you will be able to frame your own answers taking the help of these points. So yes, guys, do not forget to hit the like button and stay subscribed so that you do not miss out on any important notification. If you haven't yet subscribed, then please do subscribe and share also with your friends so that they can also help learn. Right? So thank you so much. Take care. Goodbye. See you again in the next session.